Next, from Springfield, we speak with Darlene Senger, the Republican candidate for Illinois Comptroller. Ms. Senger spent 6 years in the Illinois House of Representatives. She tells us some of the issues she is focusing on in her campaign.
Darlene Senger, thanks for joining us again. It's been a while since we had a chance to talk to you. You're a member of the state legislature. Where are you now? And we should say right off the top, you're running for Comptroller. You'll be on the ballot in November. Why, with your career you've already had, did you decide to take this on?
You know, it was pretty simple to do, and I actually, after I ran for basically state representative for 3 terms, ran for Congress, lost that, did a couple of cool things after that. I was the chief financial officer for the Workers' Compensation Commission for 1.5 years, and then actually did a short stint working for the governor. And when working for the governor in the governor's office, I saw some of the stuff that was going on. Madigan was definitely controlling Mendoza. My background is a great contrast against her background, with my being the numbers person and the finance person. And I actually, said up and down, I'm never going to be in a parade again, but I go, I've got to do this. This is just wrong. She's definitely the wrong person for this.
I think a lot of voters, here we are at the state fair, this is the traditional kickoff for the election day, and I think a lot of voters probably haven't focused, a lot of political types have, but the voters maybe haven't. What are you going to be championing? What issues do you want to focus on in your campaign?
You know what, there's a couple issues and a couple things I want to champion. When Leslie Munger took over the Comptroller office, she was first in line to put in some new fiscal systems that the governor is doing throughout the agency so they could all talk. Mendoza threw it out the window, one of the first things she did, and we need to bring that back again. Consolidating the 2 offices, again, there's a lot of, you don't need someone paying the bills and someone doing the investing. Companies don't work that way. It saves the taxpayers some money. That's really about getting the question on the ballot to consolidate, which I get frustrated with because the Senate passed it 55-0 and Madigan blocks it in the House all the time. And then I've got some really good policy ideas in regards to how to save you some local property tax monies, and it has to do with the police and fire pensions, the investment piece of it. Indiana consolidates the investment portion and saves a lot in consultant fees and advisory fees and the rest. So I bring that experience to the Comptroller's office to do that.
To what extent do you think that because the Comptroller's office is statewide, even if I would argue that some things don't fall within the purview of the Comptroller's office or the Treasurer's office, but because you're a statewide office holder, you can use that as a platform to shine a light on issues and kind of be a champion. If you agree with that, I presume you do by nodding. Are there issues that you would also want to focus on, even if they're not exactly in the Comptroller's office?
Yeah, there's, again, we have unpaid bills of a huge extent, and that's due to the fact that we passed unbalanced budgets. We passed a balanced budget this last round, but in previous years, we tax and then we spend more. So there's work to be done there, and there's some really easy things we can do with the penalty pays that we're doing to not make them to 12%, which some of them are. Let's move them into more reasonable, and better yet, let's pay our bills.
And last question, when you were out on the campaign trail and you talked to voters, what are they telling you? What's on their mind?
You know what? This is what I'm hearing more than anything else, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, when I go in and I said, Mendoza, and I basically said, Madigan said that Madigan's her mentor. Right away, they're like, we're for you, Senger. They're really fed up with Madigan right now. Independents, Democrats, and Republicans. I have never seen the like of it before. I mean, they're really fed up. And and I've been around the State House for 10 years, and I've been walking and talking to people, and I feel a big difference this year.
Well, Darlene Senger, good luck on your campaign. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.